Hi, boys and girls. I was looking in our activity bags to see what we have left that we haven't done this year. We've done a lot. And if there are things in those bags that we haven't finished and you want to give them a try, it's all for you now. You can use them however you want. But I was thinking about all those papers that we painted. I saved mine. Maybe you saved yours. Also, I had put a little package of construction paper in there. So I was thinking this might be a good day to take what I know about Eric Carle, the way he cut paper and made collage pictures, and what I know about Pete the cat, and make a new picture. So, this is what I'm using. Right here is my blank paper, my blank canvas. And I started by using my painted papers. Now, some of my papers are still almost whole because I didn't use all of it, so I saved them. Some of them I have very little left, but I'll show you what I've done. First of all, I wanted it to be something like Eric Carle, so I decided I would put the sun. So let's see. I cut a circle out of my yellow painted paper. And then I decided to go ahead and cut out a whole bunch of these little triangles. It took me a long time. You know what? It never bothers me if something takes me a long time, because while I was cutting these little triangles and making my sun, I was thinking, what else will I put? I knew I wanted to put Pete. And while I was cutting all these out, it gave me lots of time to think about what Pete should look like. So sometimes when you're doing one thing, it might give you a time in your brain to plan out something else. And I like my sun very much. And as we know, Eric Carle always put a sunshine in his pictures. So now I told you I had been thinking about Pete and what I wanted Pete to look like. So I remembered his face was kind of a half circle shape. So I'm going to put his head over here. And I just put a little glue to start because I might want to move it around. And then I just cut another blue piece for his body. I chose the blue because, well, Pete is blue. Now we needed some legs, 4. So I cut out 2 for the front and 2 for the back. I'm just going to stick them the way I think I want them to look. Remember, when you only use a little glue, then you have a chance to go back and fix it if you want. My little Pete's going to look like he's walking. Of course, he doesn't have any shoes yet. Let's see. Now, he needs his ears because he's not really a good cat without his ears. So I cut some that are kind of shaped the way I think Pete's ears should look. Some of his books, I noticed they were kind of tippy, but I decided to do it that way. And this will be his tail. All right. Now I made a little puddle of mud. I'm going to put that behind him. Actually, maybe not. Maybe I'll put it in front of him. I'll put this in front of him. And I made some strawberries. So I'm going to put the strawberries here. How many will I put? 1, 2. I like that you're watching me before you get yours started. And you noticed I had to spend a lot of time working on this before I turned on my computer. Well, there's a bunch of strawberries. And just to make it fun, I got out my green paper. I did not have much left. And I decided I would put some little tops on the strawberries because I thought that the leaves made it look more real. Well, you can do yours however you want. And yours does not have to be Pete. If you think of something else, that you would really like to make with your cut paper, that's okay. You can do what you want. But I chose Pete the cat. Now, Pete was this way, and he walked across. So I imagine Pete is wearing red shoes because he just got out of the strawberries. And you know what I imagine? I imagine once he keeps walking, he'll walk right through that mud puddle. And what will happen to his shoes then? And then they will turn brown. But for now, they're red. So the other thing I was going to do, but you know what? Now that I've got it up here, it might not work. I wanted to put grass on the bottom, so I took my construction paper and I cut little lines, and I was going to crinkle it and put it across the bottom, but I kind of forgot. So I'm going to change my mind. I'm not going to use that. I think he's not Pete without his face. So I have some black paper. I like to fold it so I can make both of his eyes the same size. And I'm cutting a little circle, or making it circle-ish. I'm not going to worry about that too much. I'm going to put an eye and an eye. Now, boys and girls, we read a lot of stories about Pete. Maybe your Pete is going to be rocking out with his guitar. Maybe your Pete, I don't know. He can do anything. Maybe he's going to be driving that really cool cat van that he has. I just went back to the first one. I'll put his nose on there. And, you know, sometimes people like to, I'm going to cut this right in half. People like to draw on theirs, but I'm going to try to make mine, oops, I'm sorry, just like Eric Carle would. I'm doing mine all with cut paper. And I'm going to cut a few of these to make him some cool whiskers, because I just think Pete is not Pete without his, whiskers. Oh, I'm so happy with this. I have fun doing little art projects like this. If you have fun, you can do these all summer, boys and girls. You get out your paints and you paint your papers one day, and then you set them aside, and then the next day you can get them out again. Get those same papers and make a picture of something that you really love. I think it's kind of fun. It tells a story. Pete walked through, and he walked in a pile of strawberries, and his shoes turned red. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no, right? He just kept walking, and then maybe when he goes through the mud, they would turn brown, and maybe he'll go through some water, and they'll be white again, or just wet, who knows. So I hope you have fun with this today, boys and girls, because I just think the way authors make their books shows how creative they are. And we've made books this year where you did beautiful drawings, but you could illustrate your books different ways. You could do like Eric Carle with cut paper. You could use photographs. If your mom and dad have taken pictures of a trip and you ask them, could I have some copies of those? You could put one on each page, and your book could be illustrated with photographs. That's another cool way to make a book. You got to write the words so people know what you're thinking. Some people just paint right onto the page. You can be any kind of illustrator you want. You could even do pop-up books someday. Wouldn't that be fun? Or Lift the Flap. I had some children in kindergarten who used to like to do Lift the Flap books. Think about it. Be creative. Have fun. Making books should always be fun.